Spider-Man, Spider-Man. You guys know I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. I thought it was a fantastic game, good plots. I thought pretty much everything about that game was good. Now, obviously, the state of the game that it came out because of the day one patch is questionable. It's interesting that a day one patch did that much damage. I do believe the reviewers on that fact. But one of the things that people looked at Spider-Man and said, this is a fantastic game. I'm kind of curious how it would be if it was like a multiplayer sensation, especially when you have Peter and Miles in the same game. So obviously the questions are, if they made this into some kind of massive multiplayer or just, a co-op feature in general. And it was rumored that Insomniac was working on that game. For a while, actually, they were working on that game. We didn't know to what degree. We didn't know if there was, deep in development, midway through development. But what's interesting enough is it was pretty much canceled. That's what the gist of the thing is. There was some information that came out. I think it was leaked. I can't remember exactly. It might have been the Insomniac leak that said it was canceled. I couldn't remember when that information was disclosed to us. Put in the comment section below if you guys remember exactly what happened to confirm the cancellation of this game. But the trailer leaked. Interesting enough, the trailer leaked to this game. And there was a lot of information that came with it. People have it all over Twitter. I think another trailer leaked today. Normally when it comes to these type of information drops or, Spider-Man or anything for that matter, I try to wait a little bit just to see clarification on, maybe PlayStation side. Something. I need to see clarification. But I did. I saw clarification. Trailer leak. 2 trailer leaks for that matter. So let's jump over here to Twitter. There's an individual named is Rhino the Bouncer. Has a pretty good tweet, summarizing all the stuff that happened in this leak. All right, so as you can see here, canceled Insomniac multiplayer game. It was called Spider-Man The Great Web. It was 5 players against the Sinister Six in New York City. It was built around a multiverse model, and it was the multiverse opened by Scarlet Witch, customer characterization options, diverse range of superheroes. You guys know, the Into the Spider-Verse universe. There's a lot of Spider-Man in that, Spider-Women, Spider-Men. So there's plenty of options that you could have picked when playing this game. Leaked trailer looks quite advanced, almost finished and ready to market. What does that mean? Clearly it means this game was more in development than a lot of people initially thought. Now, does that mean anything in the the long-term thing? Probably not. We don't know exactly how far this game came in development. This could have been just something like a vertical slice that came out that they were going to use to market to the general audience. What's interesting enough is the fact that this game was canceled. I don't even know if it was officially confirmed canceled or maybe it's just a rumor. I can't remember. So much stuff's been happening the past couple weeks. I'm kind of curious who leaked this, because this is a whole ass trailer, guys. This isn't something that's easy. This is an entire trailer that was leaked. So I'm kind of curious on who actually leaked this trailer, because this trailer is it's a big trailer. I can't remember how long it was out. I was gonna think about putting it on the video, but I felt like that's not a good idea. I feel like I'd get copyright striked or claimed or whatever Sony would have to do to silence that particular footage going out there. So it wasn't really worth it. But the interesting enough when I want to really captivate on this is when you look at the trailer, and you guys can go on Twitter. It's everywhere on Twitter. I actually feel like this looked like a very solid experience. Especially a story-related thing with Scarlet Witch is opening all these portals and all these Spider-Man are coming out of it. And, games as a service. Maybe Sony messed up here. Maybe PlayStation should have actually let this game go through. This is Spider-Man we're talking about. Out of all the games as a service, you can make the argument that the one thing they shouldn't cancel is a Spider-Man IP. Now, there's a lot of things we don't know about this. Just because they had building assets when it comes to building Spider-Man 2 does not mean that it was going to be easy to ramp this up to a multiplayer kind of function. That's not how game development worked. Now, sure, there was a lot of shortcuts that could have been took because they had those aspects and those assets already built, but it was a lot of work on top of that. It's kind of like a foundation thing. They had a little bit of the foundation. They just had to build onto it and then build up the rest of the house, the rest of the kingdom. I think Microsoft really, what's what I'm looking for? When they bought ABK and Sony was looking at some of the games as a service, because obviously they've said multiple times, AAA production for them is not salvageable in the long term. It's not sustainable. We don't know what that means. I think the pivot to, games as a service was their way of trying to, in some way, shape, or form, to combat that. We're going to have the constant revenue month to month that's going to make up for the revenue that, not necessarily we lost, because I would say the majority of PlayStation games, especially first party, they're profitable. They make plenty of money. But these corporations, they're not about just making money. They want to make more money every quarter for their shareholders. So when you look at something like a games as a service, even if one or two of them hit off, it would be enough to take that money in, show your shareholders that you're growing, you're a sustainable company that's growing, and then be able to move about your business. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know the fact that they went away from the games as a service, and they kind of pulled back a lot of that money where they canceled factions, canceled, Spider-Man, the Great Web. They did a lot of stuff behind the scenes. They seem to have restructured a lot of the aspects when it comes to making a games as a service. Now, obviously, they went through with some of them. Like, right now we're seeing huge success out of Helldivers 2. But I want people to realize that that doesn't necessarily mean that these other games were going to be successful. Maybe that was one of the few games that Sony had that they felt comfortable actually finishing. Or maybe it was already almost done and they weren't going to just cancel it and not release it. I find it interesting that this trailer leaked. Kind of the same way with the Xbox thing. People in the company, in my opinion, leaked that the potential of Starfield going multi-plat ended up giving a lot of interest, a lot of uproar, a lot of criticism that potentially could have led to self-correcting to some degree of Xbox. I think there's something similar here. I think someone maybe at Insomniac was like, look, we got a game that's almost done. What do we got to do to finish it? And I think that this trailer was leaked on purpose. Then now maybe someone snatched that from the marketing team. We're never going to know. I don't think there's been a leaked source. I don't think no one's claimed this. I haven't really gone on to a whole lot to the origins of this trailer leak. But what would be interesting if Insomniac themselves are leaking it because they know it's a solid experience and they want to show PlayStation and Sony that there's a lot of engagement for this game. It's a Spider-Man game. If you could play this with 5 people, you could get a lot of play out of it. And obviously, maybe it's one of the things that happen with factions. Maybe factions and Bungie also looked at this game and said, maybe this isn't a monetizable thing in the future. We can't dedicate a whole lot of Insomniac making more onto this because then they're not going to be making games that we want them to make in the foreseeable future. People think it's easy to do this type of work. People think it's easy to make games as a service. It's not. It takes a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of manpower, a lot of resources. I know I just said multiple of those are the same thing, but that's fine. So I think there's a lot of things that's going on here. But it is interesting that this game got leaked. I'm curious if PlayStation sees the huge amounts of people that would be hyped for something like this. Maybe they'll greenlight it again. I don't know. But put in the comment section below what you guys feel. Do you guys feel like this may have been a controlled leak? Maybe someone from Insomniac or just a fan in general. Someone got their hands on this. Like I said, maybe the marketing messed up. Someone messed up, man, because this trailer was not supposed to come out. But wait, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel for weekly content. We make content over here weekly. And appreciate everyone for coming through. Definitely follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. And follow me on the Addict Arena. It's my streaming YouTube channel. All that's in the description below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. I know the fire alarm is still there. I replaced one of them. But there's still 2 more, and I got to actually get a ladder and get those. But I appreciate everyone coming through. We're out of here. Peace.